I'm sure you're aware of the Hoyo content creator drama going on right now. I don't want any part of that. I genuinely don't. I don't keep up to date with all the drama going on, but there was something I did want to discuss, and that is concerning Kuro Games, the developer, the studio behind Punishing Gray Raven, behind Wuthering Waves, and the upcoming project Nami. I'm sure you saw all over social media that Hoyo apparently attempted to dissuade the content creator from covering Wuthering Waves. I'm not a fan of that. I think that as a content creator, we should just cover whatever the hell we want, and I don't think a studio should hold any sway over what you, what I, and what our content creator friends cover. This is our channel. This is our stream. This is our brand, us as an individual. We should hold full control over what we do. I think it's a little disingenuous for a studio, anyone really, to dangle something over our head and say, if you want to continue this, then you need to listen to us and not do this or not play that. But at the same time, and this is why I don't want to participate in this drama specifically, at the same time, Hoyo are not the only company to have done this. I have worked with over 100 different games over the course of my career on YouTube, covering MMOs, covering gacha games. In that span of 7 years, I have encountered a plethora of instances where studios told me, you cannot cover another game because it is going to directly contradict the game that you're covering. So as an example, I was told I can't do regular Black Desert Online content if I cover Vindictus. I can't do World of Warcraft content if I do Final Fantasy XIV. If I'm like an official content creator for that game, I can't do content for the other game. So I believe in this instance, Hoyo, while I don't encourage it and I very strongly detest when studios do this, and I have always either backed out of this or told them, well, fuck you, because I'm gonna cover whatever I want anyway. I understand, and I'm not gonna judge an individual company for something that so many other companies do. And that is all I'm gonna say on this. That's all I'm gonna say on Hoyo, because tons of other companies do it, and even if other companies do it, that doesn't make it right, that doesn't make it acceptable, and that doesn't make it good, but it is done, and it is very common practice. I also just want to quickly take a moment here to note, as I was working out and I thought to myself I should probably address this, I have worked with Hoyo dozens of times in the past. I've never encountered any issues with them. They give me the freedom also to pretty much say what I want as long as I cover like each update that they're asking me to cover. I also want to point out that gaming studios are not the only ones that do this. There are studios in every form of media that do this. Marvel and DC did this. They had exclusivity clauses that prevented Marvel actors from acting in DC movies and vice versa. This happens all around the world in all forms of media. But that is all I want to talk about with regards to that. What I want to talk about specifically in this video is Kuro Games. And not even just Kuro, there have been other developers that have done this too, but Kuro specifically, and I will name the other developers once I'm done. Kuro Games, they have sponsored over a dozen Punishing Gray Raven videos for this channel. They've sponsored several Wuthering Waves videos for this channel. And you know what they ask? Let me give you an example here. When I do videos on gacha games, I get over 100 sponsorship opportunities per month in a 30-day period. I turn down about 95 to 97 of them. The reason I turn down so many is because these studios give me a brief, a several-page document where they tell me this is what you need to say, this is what you cannot say. Do not mention Genshin Impact, do not mention Wuthering Waves, do not mention Punishing Gray Raven, do not mention Azure Lane, do not mention Arknights, do not mention any of these. However, say, this game is incredible. You know, the game that I'm currently advertising is the best gacha game of its kind, the best third-person shooter, the best action game. And I'm like, I can't do that because that's disingenuous. That is lying to my community. If you want me to advertise your game, I am all for it. But you need to give me the freedom to do so, to say what I want. With this in mind, Kuro, when they sponsored my Punishing Gray Raven videos, they were for the closed beta test for the PC iteration of the game, the PC client, and it was ported on over to PC. Kuro reached out to me directly and they said, hey Stix, we love the style of video you do. It's very honest, it's very blunt. We were wondering if you would take a look at our PC beta test and stream it and then do a dedicated video with your thoughts on it. And I said, sure, but, and this is what I say to every studio, If it sucks, then be forewarned, I will state this. I will tell my viewers that it sucks. Do you know what Kuro said to me? Okay, Stix, we understand. We only ask for one thing, however. If you think the beta test for the PC version of Punishing Gray Raven sucks, we just need you to elaborate on why that is. So these devs, they said you can publicly state this beta test sucks. Do not play the closed beta, do not play the PC version of Punishing Gray Raven. You can openly state that, no problem, but just tell them why. So Punishing Gray Raven PC sucks because it's unoptimized. The action combat doesn't function well on PC. Like, all I had to do was give valid reasoning for my criticism, and I could criticize it as much as I wanted. The entire video could be a negative video as long as I provided a reason for it. They were paying me because they trusted me. They allowed for me to cover other games. They allowed for me to cover their own game in any way that I wanted. And the same thing was done with Wuthering Waves. When they reached out to me to cover Wuwa, they told me, all we want you to do is play the game and then tell people why you like or dislike it. Thankfully, I was a big fan of Wuwa, and I've been covering it as a regular part of this channel ever since, doing it literally a video on it at least once a week. So for me, it worked out well because I've said a lot of positive things about it. I've said a couple of negative, but I've said a lot of positive. And the reason for that, the reason why I cover it as much as I do, the reason why I love working with Kuro Games is because they give me the complete freedom to say and do what I want. They don't care. They have faith in their game. They have faith in their creators. Not only to cover other games, but to cover their game fairly. And that right there, that is why I love Kuro Games. People call me a glazer, they call me a Kuro shill or a Kuro bot because the devs have treated me incredibly well. The devs have treated their content creators well. The devs have treated their players well. And we're criticized for that. The company is criticized for that. I genuinely do not, I cannot express in words how much I appreciate it when a dev does not try to control every facet of your video. When they give you the freedom to say and do whatever the fuck you want, consequences be damned. As long as you give a valid reason for your criticisms. That is it. That is it. That is why I love them as a studio. Now, I did know they are not the only ones to have done this. I have worked with several different developers over the course of the last year and a half on this gacha game specifically, or this gacha channel specifically, where the devs give me the freedom to say anything I want. They don't even give me a brief. So just to backtrack a little bit, when I take sponsorships, I tell them I will address your talking points. So if it's something like we're launching a new game, let's just say as an example here, we're launching Brown Dust 2. We want you to address the story, we want you to address the characters, we want you to address the combat. I will say I can do all three of those things, but I will state exactly what I think of it. I'm gonna be completely blunt and completely honest. If you're okay with that, then I am okay working with you. And the devs will tell me either, sure, as long as you meet those talking points that are provided in the brief, then you can say whatever you want. And those are the sponsorships I will accept. And then the ones that say, no, we want you to say this or not to say this, I say, fuck you. And that is it. I never work with them again. Now, Brown Dust 2, I use as an example here because they're a developer that actually allowed me to do this as well. I've covered Brown Dust 2 numerous times on this channel because they literally just say, here is an update, go react to it and do a video on it. YoStar is another developer, or another developer publisher. I worked with them with Ethergazer, I think it was about a month or two ago, and they were just like, jump in the game, look at the new character, say whatever you want, just look at the new character, that's all that's necessary. So I looked at her and I was like, oh man, yeah. YoStar again with Arknight, same thing. YoStar again with Stella Sora. They literally sent me the trailer and were like, Stix, we just want your honest reaction to the 3 trailers and then just upload that to YouTube. So I said, okay, sure. Some of these companies allow you the entire freedom to be yourself. And these are the studios that I love. That wasn't all of them, by the way. There are numerous, but There are some studios that give you 100% unequivocal freedom to do and say what you want. And those are the ones that I work with. I do also, of course, work with the studios that allow me to say what I want as long as I reach those or cover those talking points. But that is because even if I'm covering certain aspects of the game that they want me to cover, it is still my own video at the end of the day. I appreciate when studios let me cover the game I want, how I want, and allow for me to cover other games without issue. I think if a game is going to try and control its creators like that, you know, dangle the little carrot above the head of the creator, saying if you want to continue covering our game, you want these rewards, you want these benefits, then don't cover other games. I think that is shady. I think that is disingenuous, but I think that is par for the course as a studio, as a company. I don't like it, but it happens far too frequently. But that's just, those are my thoughts on Kuro, on other studios. Make of it what you will. Again, I kind of want to stay out of the drama on this one, but I did want to give my genuine, honest opinions on Kuro and several other studios that I have worked with, because I do genuinely appreciate them, especially moving into the new year. Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna want it.